It's most things Kenobi. We always have the high ground, Anakin.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Most Things Kenobi, a podcast about Obi-Wan Kenobi and all things Star Wars. I'm your host, Lauren.
And I'm your host, Leanne.
And this week we are finishing up Skeleton Crew. We are going to talk about episodes 7 and 8, which was the finale.
Yes. And we haven't talked about it yet, you and I. We haven't even said anything.
No, we haven't. I literally just watched it like an hour ago. So.
Oh, you got it fresh. I watched it on the way back home from my trip, so.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm amazed it hasn't been spoiled for me by now because it's.
Well, I have no social media at this point. Everything's been deleted. Everything.
Oh, good for you.
Everything's gone.
I'm on the verge. I like cannot stand it anymore. I like having the MTK stuff, but all my personal stuff, I'm done with it.
Yeah. Well, what did you think?
Overall, I think it was very good. I really enjoyed it. I do have like a desire for more wrap up than we got, but in general, I think it was really fun.
Yeah, I wanted more out of the last two episodes only because I think you and I came up with a better idea for that planet and the parents than they did.
I agree. I think
Is that sad?
No, I think it was what it appeared, unfortunately.
I wanted so much more.
Oh.
And
yeah.
And what was his name? The Chancellor or who? Who's the guy? That wasn't a guy at all. It was a droid. Oh, we didn't give our spoiler.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Oh, whoops.
We'll put it in the title of the episide.
Yeah, so with that, that thing was a droid. I was disappointed.
I was too. I kept hoping right up until he stabbed it in the eye that it was actually a person.
Like the Wizard of Oz.
Still, yes, concealing their exactly that.
I thought for sure it was exactly like the Wizard of Oz because they've ripped off of so many other formats, I guess.
Yeah.
For this show, I was like, that would be hilarious if it was some dude in there like pulling cranks and levers and just pretending to be a droid, and then it wasn't.
That's what I kept thinking. Or like there's an episode of Doctor Who that had almost an identical setup where you come in, there's all these consoles, there's this thing in the middle with all these wires, and it was like a person attached to the network. And I was like, ooh, maybe it's going to be like that. And no, it was really just a big droid.
It was just a big droid. Yeah.
I don't know. It looked very Empire-esque in there.
It did. It really did. I was getting vibes of, I don't know. It was very dark for such a cheerful planet. But the whole thing was, it was a facade. I really did like the idea of that protective layer around. Like it was stormy and it was generated by those things.
Yeah, whatever they were.
It was kind of like the Clone Wars episode where Obi-Wan and Anakin get stuck on that planet and they can't get through because they're all connected electronically through the barrier of their own. It was like a meteor barrier.
Droll.
Yeah.
Beware of Droll, that like fishy guy. Remember Obi-Wan says like my twitchy friend, he calls like a twitchy piratey guy.
Yes.
Iago, whatever it is.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting vibes of that. And
me too.
It's a good way to protect a planet if you want it to be protected.
Yes, but okay, like, why was it there? Why was it so protected?
Exactly.
Why was it run by a droid? Why did the Republic know about it? Like, why did they know about the Jedi being traitors? Like, they didn't answer any questions about this. It's just, it is what it is. Fine, I guess. But like, to have us go this far into the lore and have no explanation at all is a little disappointing.
It was a little disappointing. You really have to be kind of stupid to live on a planet and know that a droid is running it and not rebel against the droid. Like,
Did they know it was a droid?
Fern's mother made mention to meet the so-and-so is at such a young age is such a privilege. Like, so that told me that she had met the, whatever the title of this thing was. What was it?
Was it a secretary?
Maybe.
I can't remember now.
So it made me think like, oh, she's met the droid before. And in that case, the
I guess if they understood the importance of their safety, you might not care.
That's true. Yeah, because everything was done for their safety and all of this.
Yeah, even I even put subtitles on to hear what the droids were saying exactly, and they say you will be stunned for your safety.
Yeah, right.
When the parents were running away trying to send the communicator up into the... Yeah. It's all very spooky then, because it's like who's the person or being that started it at the beginning?
And allegedly it's a part of several other planets that were very similar. Remember the coordinates to At-Aten were scribbled or scraped out?
Yes.
So there's several others that fell. What? Why? I have to know more.
Right? Like to lay all of this lore out and then wrap none of it up, explain none of it at all.
Yeah. I think that was my biggest problem with the show at that point, at the end.
Me too. I was enjoying it, but I kept feeling like I wanted more. I needed more explanation. And then even at the ending when the kids are all together and they just show Wim seeing the Republic ship come in and then they cut to black. It's like, what happened?
Yeah. Who got off that ship? Wasn't it Leia? It looked like Leia's ship, but like...
It did look like her ship, yeah.
Are we to assume that Leia's a part of all this? Like, we needed... I don't know.
The Republic knew about this place, even though they were making old credits that were from the old Republic or whatever it was. So who is coming to get these credits? Why are they still doing it?
I have no
idea.
They
knew that the Republic fell, and now there was the Empire, and now there's the Republic, the new Republic. Like, what the guys? I'm confused. I need more explanation.
Yeah, I try to not overthink things, but it's hard not to when it's presented with all of this lore, and then we don't get anything. It was weird. It was weird.
I really also felt like unsatisfied with Jod because like
me too.
The last time you see him, he's just walking up to the window watching his ship go down. And then he gets this look on his face like, like he's crafty. He's coming up with another plan. Why did they just leave him there? Why wasn't he arrested? What the There was no resolution. They literally left all this stuff hanging, but that implied that there's not going to be a season 2. I didn't get a sense that there was going to be more.
I read one article that said that they left it so that if people do want more, they could build from it, but they'd have to wait and see. So,
yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Maybe Jod gets away with some of those credits, like he doesn't have to share because everybody went down. First of all, can I just say how rude it was for them to shoot down that pirate ship and then it just like fell into the city and destroyed their city?
No.
Who's going to rebuild that?
Every time I see that in a movie, like a superhero movie, I'm like, are there people in those buildings?
Yeah.
Did you just kill like 1,000 people?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the Yeah, I agree. I had the same thought. I was like, oh, that's awful.
That's terrible. And it went into the waterway. Does that poison their water? Like, how do we fix this?
And how did their lights all come back on at the end? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think why it's not, like, I loved it. I really did love it. I'm not trying to just talk the whole time.
Right.
All I can say is because it was so good and they were building every single episode, to have it end in this kind of kid show, air quotes, kid show way where you just like, and then the good guys arrived and everything was good again. The lights came back on and we're done. It's like, that is the opposite of how you've been telling the story so far.
Yeah, I
agree. So that's why it felt incongruous to me. That ending felt like it didn't completely fit in with the way they've been constructing the story all along.
To be completely honest, I fast forwarded through most of the little like speed bike chase. I sped through it. I didn't watch it, so I don't really know what happened. I just got to the end of it. I was like, I'm not watching this. Skip.
Oh, there was a part that was really funny during it. I laughed out loud, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes. Because the dad is with them, and they make this jump over a gorge. And,
I did
the
see
dad
that.
is like, the dad is all like,
Yeah, he did it. Yay. And they're like, come on. And then I said, skip. Because I waited until it looked like something was going to happen. So I did see that part. It was cute.
okay.
Yeah, the dad was a kid again. Like, let loose, brother.
Yeah, seriously, like, lighten up.
Him and Fern's mom should get together.
great.
That's what I want.
I thought that, like, for a moment there, I was like, maybe he's the pirate captain and she was the, quote, concubine. And I was like, no, they didn't wrap up the pirate captain thing.
Nope.
They didn't do anything. They didn't explain why the ship crash landed there, but there was no pirate there.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah, it was real good until they had to tie it all together and they just didn't. And I
Yeah.
have problems with that, but maybe we'll get some. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was actually pleased that Jod didn't turn good in the end. Because sometimes it's just okay to have a bad guy. Someone who sucks.
Terrible. Like,
Yeah.
he was such a jerk. Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
I mean, the way
Yeah.
he treated those kids in the end, brutal. It was probably
Yeah,
hard
it
for
was-
him to like act that out because he probably really liked those actors and actresses, those kids in real
Yeah.
life. That would make me feel bad.
He made them all cry.
I know.
All of them. He was mean to Neil.
I know. Neil is such a. When that big blast went off, I was not expecting that to be Neil, and it was him. So cute.
I
And
know.
I liked him in a bathtub. When the lights went off, he was just in this giant bathtub.
Surrounded by bubbles.
That was kind of cute.
I like that he goes home and gets a bubble bath.
Yes. Yes, his family was pure. Like, they were so cute.
Yeah.
And I really like KB's, is it KB? KB's
Yes.
parents.
Yeah.
And I liked all of them. I just, there's just so many questions. I have so many questions.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad. Like, I want to shift from being my complaints to, like, what I like about it.
Well, let's do it.
I did like it. It was beautiful. Again, some of the cinematography is so good. Yeah.
The lighting in some of those shots, like on the kids' faces when the barrier disintegrates and they're left staring at the planet, I was like, that's a beautiful shot. That's high quality right there.
I even like the shot of Jod seeing the gold in the vault.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like the tray of gold right in front of him, and it was very shallow depth of field. You couldn't see anything but the gold in his face, and he like almost started to cry.
Yeah.
That was a beautifully constructed shot also. He really was bad. Like
He was. He just wanted that gold.
The gold is what brought him to tears, not any of the humanity.
Truly. I mean, what did you think of his Jedi backstory? He kind of had the similar tale of Kanan Jarrus.
It was very interesting that they even said anything at all. I'm glad they did.
I'm glad they wrapped that up at least.
Yeah, apparently he was found by a Jedi after Order 66, it sounded like.
Right?
Because he said she was ragged like he was, so that sounds like she was on the run.
Oh, that would make sense. So a female on the run that made it out of Order 66. Could be anybody.
But they murdered her in front of him, so yeah, who knows? I'm trying to think, like, timeline-wise. The Empire exists about 18 years, right? 18, 19 years before Luke Skywalker comes of age, right? Like,
right.
Because it's from when they're born until A New Hope starts. So that's like
Correct.
18 years. So, like, if you subtract 18 years from Jod, he's pretty old by the time he's found.
So did he Yeah.
If we're saying that he was found after Order 66,
Yeah.
which maybe doesn't time out.
You would think they'd make sure that made sense. He would be like 11 years old or something. How old is...
I mean,
Well, we don't know what age he's supposed to be in this
yeah,
show.
I mean, Jude Law is
going
older
off.
for sure,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
know.
know. I think he's pushing 50, I want to say. He's
I was
probably
gonna
late
say.
40s, early 50s
Yeah.
as an actor.
Correct.
The character, who knows?
He can't be Obi-Wan's brother now, I guess.
No.
Another good idea wasted.
Holy did that some people off when I posted
Really?
that, which is fine. I don't care. I thought it was delightful that it generated that much anger.
It's just a thought, folks. Shoot, just a thought.
Yeah, I know. Everyone on not everyone, but I got well actually'd a lot, which is fine. I knew it would some people off, which is fine. I don't care. But either way.
Isn't that how the internet works?
Yeah.
Isn't that like how it's run?
Yeah.
Not by
pretty
us,
much.
but
No.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what timeline it would have made. I mean, even if he was found before Order 66, either way, he was probably not with the Jedi for very long before she was... He said they tracked her down and killed her in front of him so
Yeah.
that he would know what happened to Jedi. Why didn't they take him?
I don't know. Definitely not a Vader kill. Huh. He was nowhere in that vicinity. I guarantee you.
Yeah. I kept wondering if the the administrator, is that what it was called? I can't
maybe
remember.
it was the administrator. Yeah, maybe.
Whatever the big droid was. I
Yeah.
kept thinking it was just an eyeball for like Palpatine,
Oh.
but I don't think it was. But it could have been.
No. I mean, maybe at one point, but
Yeah.
now
Yeah,
with the New
'cause he's
Republic,
dead by now,
yeah.
but- Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
It makes sense if you want to go with the theory that they had to have a droid that maybe if they had like an actual human or some species running the planet full of money, it would go corrupt eventually. So a droid is neither
Good point.
he or she is not biased. Like it's just a machine told what to do.
Yeah, that's.
I
a
still
good
want
point,
that Wizard
actually.
of Oz moment. I kept waiting. Behind the curtain is a person.
Yeah. Fun fact, that was voiced by Stephen Fry, who is also like a pretty famous British actor. He was in Sherlock Holmes with Jude Law, actually.
Oh, there you go. Oh, they could have had a nice little reference there. When are they going to hire us to write this shit? Or at
I
least
don't know, but they need
contribute
us.
to the writing? To idea? Some collaboration? We're free.
Yeah.
Both of us. Believe us. Believe us when we say we will drop what we're doing currently to help.
Yeah. Send us
Damn.
your scripts and we'll just tweak them to get a little better. It was really good. I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was very entertaining. I was feeling emotions, watching it, but it just like almost didn't really fully stick the landing. Like it was landed, but it could have been a level up better.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
I
that's
love
about
the
how I feel.
imagery when they opened the ship and KB fell out with all the gold.
Yeah.
That was super cool. I really liked that moment. I was like, that is really creative.
Well, not only that, but she was on top of it, obviously, so she is more valuable than all of the gold
Yes.
beneath her. And that should be the point of the show. Like, the treasure is the people around you and who you love and what you do to come together and all this stuff. But I did really like the final shot of Wim, since it was all his doing, I guess, his story.
Yeah.
And then the final credits were his flip story, his little book,
Yeah.
which I thought was fabulous. I thought that was a great, I mean, it's very Marvel, but it was telling a little tale in tying it all together with some nice end scene credits type stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's like the story within the story that's
Yeah.
taking place.
I did try to research to see what those scenes were, and there's mixed commentary, I guess, that it isn't any specific story, although some said it could be Jod's story.
I actually wondered that, looking at the sequence at the end. Now that we know Jod's story, I started to wonder if it was him, because it was a young Padawan with a female Jedi master.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I wondered that. And then there was a moment where you could see it was the kid's story.
Yeah, which is added to. I like the idea, if it's going to be a story, I like it random hero tales, and then theirs is added to it because they became the heroes of their own tale. And I think that is just lovely.
Yeah, I loved how they all got close at the end. They were all good friends by the end in a very like sincere way that didn't feel super contrived. It felt very natural the way that all their friendships developed, and it was actually really rewarding to see them as they got closer. Jod became worse and worse.
Yeah.
You know, they were an inverse relationship. It was interesting. And then
that's a good point.
It also
actually.
It put Jod's conversation with Wim from the other episode in more perspective. When Wim was crying and Jod sat down and talked to him, it's like he was manipulating him. He was not being nice, because then at the end he was so brutal to the kid that he starts crying. It was just like, oh, you are a
Yes. Yes. Not a great person, although I could see why he would feel the way he does. It's difficult knowing what we know about the Jedi, what happened, what we know about the Empire, what happened. He's kind of in that weird grudge in the middle, where he wanted to be accepted. He thought he could be something and it didn't work out. How many times have we seen that? You know, Asajj Ventress, for instance. They become bitter. They become disimpassioned. They become just some weird gray area in the middle where they have these talents, but they can't trust anybody. And if they show it, they could die and all this stuff. And it's really a terrible place to be. But there's also a lot of chance for redemption and to be a good person. And we see that he did not choose that path. He did not choose that path.
Yeah, it was almost more like redemption for the parents instead of Jod.
Yeah, really. Because, oh my God, how many times did you want to slap the parents because they're doing parent things and being adults? And like, the kids are like, let's just act. We have to move. We know what's going on. And they're like, hold on a second. I have to try and start this speed bike. Like, that dad is such a dad. I totally get it. Like,
totally, yeah.
But you're right. It's redemption for the parents, too.
Yeah, by the end, it was nice to see that even though the kids had disobeyed and gone off to space, that they were still, like, loved, and they weren't going to really get in trouble when they came back.
Well, the only people to punish them were the droids.
Yeah, for their own safety, you must be punished.
Isn't that just what humanity tells us, right?
Yeah, yep. It's weirdly...
Yeah.
An echo chamber. Yeah.
It is.
Well, I liked by the end, you could see the dad's courage growing and then Fern's mother's courage growing. And they ended up all working together. And that was
all their hands.
where they grabbed the handles.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a really cool moment. And
it was a choice for the adults to completely erode away the thing they believed in, which is difficult for anyone, because once you cross that, there's no going back. Like, the thing they always believed in, they had to go against and trust to make it better, and they didn't know if it would get better on the other side. And that was what that all the hands on that lever symbolized. It's the fear of the unknown, and you only know one way, and you're told this, but you know things could get better if you go against that. And that takes a lot of courage. I'm speaking very generally because we could apply that to many instances in our lives.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a real adult thing, or with kids, young adults, to cross that barrier into the unknown and do something scary.
I think that was a very innocent perspective on life, because history proves in general it does not get better. Usually in those circumstances, you let outsiders in a way, especially in Star Wars. You know, I kept thinking, like, once the pirates are down there, life is never going to be the same.
Right.
Because if they ever are allowed to leave again, they're going to tell other people. They'll give other people the coordinates. Somehow it's going to start getting out, and their little bubble of safety is over. The minute those kids left, the safety was in jeopardy. And who knows if the Republic is actually going to be able to protect them properly.
I wonder if they'll just move to another planet and do it all over again. Maybe that's what happened to the other. I wish we knew.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, is like, if they created the barrier, there's no reason they can't do it again at some point if need be.
Why didn't they do it on more planets? Like,
I don't know, because money is important, I guess. I mean, they've got this forge, but they don't talk about how, like, I won't even go down this path talking about the value of real money, because it's too boring and I couldn't care less. But, you know, if you... No one ever comes there. So why are they making the money? How are they so profitable? I don't understand.
I have a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Actually, it could be its own story.
Seriously,
the hows and whys of At-Atten, you know?
Yeah, like the real history of it. I'm curious to know more. I wouldn't be sad if they made more episodes. Like, if they wanted to do a season 2, I would totally watch it.
Yeah.
I'd be excited to watch it. And I enjoyed how much I got invested, you know, by the end. And I really liked the kids. I think they're such good actors.
Oh, hands down, they get all of my respect in the world.
Yeah, they were excellent. And Fern, I was feeling her anger.
Oh my God, so was I.
Those looks she gave.
The snarly. Yeah, she's good at that.
Yeah, it was great.
I would follow her. I would let her pilot my ship. Heck yeah.
Yeah, she's got some confidence. It's great. How did you feel when he took out the lightsaber and cut off SM-33's head?
I wasn't totally upset, because I was, like, annoyed by that droid by the end. Like, him flipping sides and the way he talked and the stumpy leg. And I was just like, I'm done with this. Like, it was a little brutal. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad he didn't step on the little mouse that was living in the droid's head.
You know how I am about live animals and live creatures. I was waiting. I said, I'm turning this off, and they didn't step. Thank you. Thank you for not killing the innocent thing that lived in his helmet. Give it to Neil. Neil took care of it. He can...
Yeah.
Neil took a liking to that little guy.
It was kind of cute by the end how KB had it on top of her head.
Yeah.
And she was flying out to send the
cute.
message to Kim the owl.
Yes, I'm glad Kim came back. The owl cat. Yeah. The feline owl. Of weird.
To be there in 2 flaps. I thought that was...
I know, I think that's cute. I really like her.
I do too. I hope she comes back in more stories, because she was fun. So overall, what would you rate the series?
Like, out of 10, 10 being fabulous?
The best, yeah.
I would give it a 6.
A 6?
How about you?
I would say like a 7.5 to an 8.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. And I was really, really hoping for some more depth. I thought we were getting it.
Yeah. I would rate it an 8 if it wasn't for the last episode not tying things up.
Yeah. I can't deny that I came away feeling a little like,
Yeah.
Like, I felt like there was more to the story, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. They wrapped it up pretty well. I loved when the barrier came down and everyone saw the stars for the first time.
Yeah, there's a whole galaxy out there. And didn't Fern say there's a lot of good people too?
Yeah, that was very beautiful.
Yeah.
That sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Wim telling his dad that I've seen, you can't unsee what you've seen. You know now that there's options. And
I forgot to add my personal 2 cents on that barrier coming down.
Uh-huh.
Did you notice wind started when the barrier came down and they looked up, the trees started rustling? I said, yes, weather now begins. The weather patterns will now begin. Now that there's no protective barrier, you will now have storms. I'm afraid to let y'all in on something.
I was going to say, put the barrier back, quick.
I don't know entirely what the thermal processes are on that, the thermodynamic processes are on that planet, but I did notice the trees started rustling. That means weather is starting.
You know what I thought too was they're lucky they have an atmosphere because they
Totally.
And also, was it safe to live under an electrical barrier for your whole what kind of diseases would that cause?
Well, that's like living under a power line, right? They say you shouldn't live near power lines.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
overthinking this, god.
Well, and there's a moon. They had a moon.
They
so
did
now
have
the
a moon,
barrier's
so-
down. They're gonna have tides.
Yeah, apps. Do they have oceans?
don't know.
Hurricanes? Okay.
Oh no.
They're going to need a meteorologist. Darn it.
You might have to apply.
Okay. That was fun. It was fun. I liked it. I hated the first couple of, I really hated a lot of the lengthy chase and screaming scenes. But if I fast forwarded through those, it wasn't a bad show.
You know what, though? I'm going to be honest. I fast-forward that stuff in the original trilogy and the prequels and pretty much anywhere. After
Okay,
you've
that's
seen
fair.
everything the first time,
That's true.
or for me, the first 100 times,
Yeah.
after that, you can start to skip around. And, when I watched Return of the Jedi now, I only watch Luke's story. I never watch anything else.
Hater. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't need
kidding.
to see them doing the same battle that they did
Right.
in A New Hope again. I just,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's very Star Warsy. Let's say it's in keeping with the,
Totally.
and it's very George Lucas, very Spielberg to have this kind of inner cutting of action sequences with something super emotional going on in another story. So you cut back and forth between that
that's
that
true.
emotional space.
So 6 out of 10 for me, and 7.5. Did you say?
Yeah, 7.5 for me.
Not bad.
I would watch it again for sure, especially if there's a season 2 I'd rewatch. I think there would be a lot of stuff to go back and nitty gritty look for Easter eggs and stuff like that. I bet there's a lot hidden in this show. Our episodes have been more about reactions and less about deep diving, but we don't need to do that now.
No, we'll save
Maybe-
that for Andor.
Yeah, exactly. Which we should do a rewatch of that because that's coming out in a couple months. So.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Ooh.
It's going to destroy me. I'm going to be
Yep.
destroyed. You're going to bury me. Don't bury me. Viking funeral me.
Viking funeral this woman, yes.
You know my wishes.
Yes. And we will honor them. And y'all know mine.
We'll try and make it happen for you, Leanne. We'll do our best.
I appreciate that. You're a good friend.
Okay, our question for you. What are your thoughts now that Skeleton Crew's over? What are your general thoughts on it? How did you feel about the show? Did you like it? How would you rate it out of 10? We gave our ratings. Now you give us yours. We would love to hear your thoughts.
And our next episode, we're going back to Obi-Wan. Because
Yes.
we've been on vacation from Obi-Wan. And, with good purpose, for good reason, we had Skeleton Crew. But we got to go back to the man himself. So, our next episode we're just going to talk about our favorite moments from the Kenobi series. Because while Lauren and I have actually done reviews of every single Kenobi episode, we haven't really talked about the nuanced moments that made us really fall in love with him as the character all over again that happened in those episodes. So that's what we're going to discuss. Join us back here and just fall in love all over again with us, because that's what we do here.
All right, in our last episode, we asked a totally random question, and I have never received this much feedback.
Yes! Ever. Yes!
It's crazy. People loved this stupid question.
I can't wait to hear what they wrote in with.
So we asked, what was Obi-Wan Kenobi's favorite kind of pie? Something I have forgotten is American pie is very different than pie everywhere else.
You're right. Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Pie has existed for a long time, like since Egyptian times, but in America is where we started like doing fruit pies.
Right. Yeah, sweet.
Like sweet dessert pies. That's
Yeah.
kind of more the American thing. Everywhere else, yes, they have it now, but now they do
savory.
like meat pies.
Meat pies, yes. Well, what did somebody mention what kind of meat pie he might like? I'm curious.
Yeah. There was a kidney pie, I think someone said.
Oh, Lord.
Someone said a shepherd's pie, but that's not really a pie.
I love shepherd's pie.
I do too. I make it all the time, but it doesn't have a pie crust. So
Yeah, it
in, like,
doesn't.
America, it kind
True.
of doesn't qualify as a real pie.
We didn't give specifications that needed a pie crust. I guess we're doing this.
True. It's true. We didn't narrow it down. But
I love
stay
this.
tuned, because we had an actual Obi-Wan respond what
Yes.
he thought. But we'll get to that in a minute.
Yes.
Bettina said, seriously, what kind of question is that? Cinnamon rolls, of course. Come on!
Bettina.
No. No cinnamon rolls.
That's funny.
If you wonder why we're so upset, just find our episode about why Obi-Wan is not a cinnamon bun.
Yes.
Anyway. Okay, Kevin said warm apple pie with a slice of cheddar and a scoop of vanilla ice cream on the side. It's the only civilized answer.
That's a pretty good civilized answer. Yeah.
We got a lot of apple with cheddar, or I saw that a few times, apple with obviously vanilla ice cream.
Yum.
Let's see. Gail said strawberry pie because his hair smells like strawberries, according to Tumblr.
I like this answer. Gail. I love it.
Oh my god. All right, James Arnold Taylor says,
Yes. What did the man say himself?
he said, apple a la mode, warm with the vanilla ice cream melting over the top, 1 piece, bad day with Anakin, 2 3/4, and an extra scoop of ice cream.
I called it. He's eaten more if it's a bad day with Anakin.
Yes.
Oh, James, thank you. It's good to have the authority.
He is the authority. Like, he would know. He's been in the character's head for a long time. So
Yes.
I think his answer's qualified.
Listen. Oh, with the ice cream melting on top is the best. The best.
Right? I've had some people say that they didn't think Obi-Wan would eat a whole pie, and I just can't agree with that. I think that he would eat a whole pie standing up, like, over the sink. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Super stressed. He has to take it out some way because he can't nap.
Exactly. And he's super fit, so he's not even gonna, like, his body's not even gonna recognize that he ate that many calories.
We don't know her. We're envious of this man.
Yeah, right. Kenobi Wolf said, apple pie with vanilla ice cream. Gotta be the reliable apple pie with just a bit of ice cream to make it not boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of people got the sense of the apple pie.
Yeah. Did anyone say pecan or pecan, depending?
No.
Oh, so I'm the only... Interesting.
I think you are. Like, well, people might not think of that. Like,
It's
no one
true.
mentioned pumpkin pie at all, which
I don't fancy him a pumpkin pie eater. No.
I don't either. No. Apple hazelnut pie was the closest we
Ooh.
got. Tara said apple hazelnut pie with brown sugar on the crust with a side
Damn.
of ice cream and some coffee.
Yes, that's civilized.
And a bit boozy like if Anakin
Oh yeah,
was trouble.
yeah, the coffee would have Kahlua or Bailey's in it for sure.
Oh my goodness. So yes, and these are just a few. We got lots
Yeah.
lots more.
That's
so
amazing.
We'll stop there for now, but thank you to everybody. I also got like private messages, DMs. It was
That's
incredible.
That's pretty spectacular. And of course, thanks to James Arnold Taylor for telling us what he thinks Obi-Wan would eat. So thanks everybody.
I tagged him. I'm like, we
Yeah.
need to know, James.
We have to
Come on.
know.
Didn't he say in our interview that his special Jedi power would be being able to make the perfect meal
Yes.
for anyone, like Willy Wonka with
Yeah.
chocolate?
Oh no! Now what kind of chocolate could be our next? Well, stay tuned.
no.
We'll come up with something else some other time. one sweet confectionery thing at a time.
Yeah, seriously.
It's cute.
Thank you to everyone for writing in. We really enjoyed it.
Yes,
It's
thank you.
delightful.
And thank you so much for joining us here on the Most Things Kenobi podcast. We appreciate every single one of our patrons and are grateful for your support. If you would like to support the podcast and become a patron, head over to the Most Things Kenobi Patreon, and we're revamping it. So
Yes.
stay tuned. We are making changes and doing fun revamps. So
It's gonna be cool.
yeah, so head over to Most Things Kenobi Patreon, and of course you can always follow us on Tumblr, Instagram, YouTube, and Threads, and that's where you can always comment and answer our ridiculous questions. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast player. If you enjoy our podcast, we always appreciate it when you rate us on Spotify and Apple. And if you need one place to find all of these things, head over to the mostthingskenobi.com website.
So until next time, my space twin, may the force be with you.
Always.